Today we're looking at aosu Wall Light Cam Pro. So this is pairing a 3K resolution camera with a 400 lumen light. And I gotta say, aosu are the kings of simplicity. Whether it's through the installation or just the onboarding of the camera, they are really hard to beat. Honestly, for residential install, if it's the first time you install cameras, aosu are doing a great job. But in this case, there is one small hiccup that we'll discuss later. All right, let's get to it. Alright, so inside of the box you have the camera itself, so the Solar Wall Light Cam Pro. Underneath this you have your camera guide, so all the necessary information for the installation and how to configure your camera. You also have screws, anchors. You have two stickers, so one protected by and one for the installation. You also have a USB extension for the solar panel. Here you have the bracket for the solar panel. Underneath you have the bracket for the camera, and finally at the bottom of the box you have a USB to USB-C cable to power your camera. So when we look at the camera, on top we have our solar panel, on the front we have different things, but focusing here, as you can see, there is two ways to install the solar panel. This is something we'll show later in the video. Looking at the front, so you have your camera lens. This is a 3K resolution. You have the status light, you have a microphone, and here on the right you have your PIR motion sensor, and of course the 400 lumen light. On the side you have your speaker, so this is a two-way communication, and here it's actually where you would see the power, reset, and also the micro SD card slot. So if we open this, so we have our power button, we have our reset button, and here for the micro SD card slot, it's up to 128 gigabytes that you can put inside of this camera. Now, as I mentioned, there is two ways to install this camera using this solar panel, which again shows how aosu kind of think before doing their products. It's all about simplicity. So as you can see, you can remove the solar panel from the camera just by unscrewing this little screw here, and then the solar panel will come out. So we have our screwdriver. First thing you need to do is disconnect the solar panel from the camera. As you can see here, there is the USB-C port, and then you start unscrewing. Now, as I mentioned, in the box you have a solar panel bracket. So when you do this, it's really ideal when you don't have a specific place to have your camera and receive enough sunlight, so you can actually install the solar panel maybe on another wall that will receive way more sun. Now, to remove the solar panel, you just need to actually push it to the front on either side. So here you have your arrows that are showing this. So you push it on one side, you push it on the other, and then the solar panel is removed like so. And your camera stay protected, so you have a nice flat top right here that keeps all the residues from the weather out of your camera. Now, the way the accessories work, so you have three parts. So you take this one, so kind of the neck of the mounting bracket and the swivel here. You put the neck inside of the swivel and it will be locked in place, as you can see here. And next, we just need to put the bottom part with this part. And then you just turn and it will lock it in. And from there you have your mounting bracket for your solar panel. As you can see, you can change the angle if you need to. And from this side, well, again, it's just about screwing the mounting bracket to the solar panel and you will be ready to go. Now, when you have both of your camera installed and your bracket installed, you need this extension that we mentioned at the beginning. So with this extension, you will connect the USB-C part right here inside of the camera, and the female side will be used to connect the solar panel. So as you can see, the cable is pretty long, so you can gain some long distance between your camera and the solar panel. So don't hesitate to put it way up high and be able to receive as much sunlight as possible to keep your battery powered. But the more conventional way to install it is using the backplate bracket. So you just need to screw that on your wall, and then you take your camera and you just clip it on it. So you just slide the back plate on the camera, and here you need to push the bottom of the bracket, so the little clip, so it will stay in place. Because if you just put your camera on the bracket itself, you will see it's quite loose. So yeah, it will get right out of it. So really make sure to take your bracket, put it on the camera, and then you just need to push the bottom bracket, so the bottom clip, or else it will be removed really easily. Now for the onboarding phase, you will need to download the aosu app either on Google Play or your Apple Store. And once you have it, you go inside of your profile, so inside your account, and you add a camera by clicking on the plus sign on the top right of your screen. Here you will be prompted to scan a QR code. So we will take our camera right here, and as you can see, in that case, the QR code is right here, so on the back of the device. So we scan this QR code, clicking on ready to scan. So when this is scanned, all you need to do is power up your camera. So on the side, as we shown, you have your power button. So you remove this clip right here, and you hold the power button for 5 seconds until you hear the hello sound and that the status light becomes blue. So here we go.
Hello.
All right, so this is done. When you hear hello, well, you click on the prompt, I hear hello, and now it's ready to connect. So if the blue light starts flashing like this, well, you don't need to do this step, so you can actually click on the button right away. Now it will select a Wi-Fi to connect your camera. You select your Wi-Fi, you enter your password for your Wi-Fi, and you click on continue.
The camera is connecting to your Wi-Fi network. It may take a moment. Please wait for a while.
And when you hear this prompt, well, you just need to wait for it to be
Save
connected.
settings successfully.
And wait for its connection. So as you can see, it took a matter of 15 seconds. It's ready to go. You click on continue. Now you can name your device. So for example, here we'll say front door, and then you can add aosuProtect Plus right now, but we'll try this later. And your camera is up and running. So if I click on play right now, you should see me appear, and yes, I'm right here. All right, so now that this is done, we'll go outside, install the camera, and see how it performs in real life. Now that our camera is installed, the solar panel is well placed to receive as much sunlight as possible. Let's see how the camera works. Now that you're inside the application, you can see your camera is live, so we have it right here. So when you want to enter your camera, you just need to click on it. And now we have multiple settings in front of us. So the camera is connected. As you can see on the bottom here, I have the light. So if I want to trigger manually the light, I can click on there and it will open the light. I also have a tone voice changer. So because this is a two-way communication device, it means that the people can hear me in front of the camera, and I can, yes, speak with them directly from my phone, so clicking on the talk button. If I click on tone, it will actually change the way my voice sounds. So this can be a good deterrent if your kids are at home and they see someone in front of the camera and they don't want to let them know that it is a kid that is home alone. They can use the tone voice to just tell them to go away or to come back another time. You also have the alarm that you can manually trigger here, and you also have the voice alert. So the voice alert are pre-recorded text that you can play from the camera. So you have multiple things here that you can use. Now, if I click on the camera itself, so you have the sound from the camera that you can hear what's happening in front. You have your camera resolution, so you can switch it to SD, then it will lower the graphic on your application, or you can keep it at Ultra HD to keep a crisp image of your monitoring. If you click on the recorder here, it will start recording the screen directly from your phone. Next is a snapshot, so it will take a picture from the camera directly. And if you click here, well, it put it in big screen. So you're able to see all the action from the palm of your hand. and you keep all the same settings. So as you can see, we have the tone on the top right, and at the bottom in the center, you have the voice alert that you can trigger directly from this view. If we look at the top, we have a cogwheel. So this is where you would access all the settings of the camera. So if I click on it, so first off, we have the device name that you can configure as you wish. If you want to turn off your camera, you just need to toggle that option on the top. You can also share your device. So if people in your family have the aosu app downloaded, well, you can find them here and share the device with them, or even share it via email to friends or other people you want to monitor your camera. You have your light settings. So here, the first thing you can toggle is the motion light. So this is to automatically turn on the lights when there is a motion at night. So if a pet or a human comes in front of the camera at night, it will turn on the lights. And you can also adjust the brightness right here. So if you want your light to be very bright or turn it down a little, as I mentioned, this is 400 lumens. You also have the manual lighting duration. So when you turn it on, it will turn off after a certain amount of time. So you can decide the time right here. You also have the Alexa Google Home light control. So yes, this integrates with your Alexa and Google Home, which can be pretty practical if you use these smart home applications. We also have AI surveillance with this camera. We have human detection and pet detection only with aosuProtect Plus. This is something we'll cover later, but included with the camera, you have the intrusion settings. So if I click on intrusions, it means that you can draw a box on your screen, so for your camera, and every time someone will enter that box, it will trigger an alarm to your liking. So for example, I toggled on my intrusion. Now I need to create a detection zone. So I click on here, and as you can see, I already created one, but you can create multiples. And it's just a box, like I said, and then you take all the corners and you make sure it covers the area you want it to protect. Now, one thing to consider when doing such zones, from our testing, what we realize is that if we look at the zone right here, it will only send a notification if the subject is entirely in the zone. So if it's just part of my legs that are clipped by the box, it will not create an alarm event. I need to be entirely in the red box for it to be considered as an event. So make sure that you keep that in mind when you draw such a box, because then you might wonder why you're not receiving any alerts, even though someone came by and walked inside of the box. Well, it's probably because the box wasn't big enough. When we have our zone, we just need to click on done and it will save it. Then we have the alarm method. So in there, you need to enable the auto alarm, because if you don't do so, well, you don't have access to any options. So when you enable the auto alarm, the alarm method choice that you have are smart alarm. So the smart alarm is that when an alarm is triggered during the day, you will have the sound notification. And when it's triggered during the night, you will only have the light. So it kind of plays on both sides for you, and instead of you customizing it to your need. If you do the custom alarm, then you can choose if it does a white light or an alarm sound, and also what sound you would like to hear. So is it a pre-recorded message, or you really want that siren to blow out when there's a detection? You can also choose the alarm volume right here. And next is the detection period. So you either choose all day, or you can create a custom period by clicking on add. And here you choose a period of the day that you want your camera to be armed. So it can be at different days in the week. It can be at different times in the week. So when you're working, you want it to be on, but when you're back, you want to deactivate it. This is something you can do right from here. Now, going out of here, we're gonna look at the detection settings. So by default, you want to have motion detection on. So this way you're able to actually receive some notification from the different movement. Now, right now it's at detect all, but you can have also intelligent detection. So when you select intelligent detection, it will send you notification on the selected object only. But now we're kind of back to aosuProtect Plus. So before we keep going on the detect all and detection mode, let's talk about aosuProtect Plus. This is the small hiccup I was mentioning about. So aosuProtect Plus is their cloud solution. So this way you don't need to have the hub, you don't need to have a micro SD card. you can record directly to the cloud. And not only that, but you have access to different analytics. So you can have face recognition, you can have person, pet, vehicle, parking guard, dangerous animal, gun detection, you name it. There's a lot of things. But the thing is that obviously you need to pay. It's a subscription, but you do get a lot of things, and this is a trend we're seeing everywhere. It's not negative, it's just the way business works. For me, the only thing is the model on which this is available. Because right now we're looking at the Solar Wall Light Pro. So can I have, for example, vehicle smart alert with this camera? Well, the answer is no. And this is what you need to keep in mind when buying different aosu cameras. And if you want to use the different analytics, maybe from the Pro subscription or only the basic one, on which camera will it work? So on the side, you have the only available for with the different part numbers. So this is what you need to look for. This particular camera, so the part number is L7P. So as you can see, person smart alert is for every camera, but L7P is only the pet smart alert. So you don't get the vehicle smart parking guard or parking zone when you get, for example, the basic plan. And the way to know the part number of your camera, because maybe you tried and it's not as obvious to find online. So you go inside the settings of your camera, and right here you have about the device, and you will see the device model directly from your application. So yeah, for me, still good product, easy to install, great entry product when you're starting in smart home security. But this is the kind of thing you need to consider if you want it to have facial recognition, human detection, and all of this. It is not included with the camera, but at the same time, by getting those analytics, you're also getting cloud storage. So it can be beneficial in the long run for you. Back in the detection settings, you can also change the detection sensitivity. So you can either adjust automatically or you can do it for yourself and make the range very far. From our testing, it was picking me up at 40-45 feet all the way down in the street. So I was just exiting the driveway and it was triggering an alarm. So on that case, it was pretty good. Next, we're looking at notification settings. So if you want to receive push notifications from your phone, you also have the notification time that you can enable here. So when you want to receive this notification, you also have two notification modes. So you have the immediate mode. So any type of event that occurs, it will just push a notification to your phone. If you choose the intelligent mode, it might take a little bit longer, but they will be more accurate, so less false alarm that you will receive. And then you have by event type, so depending on which type of notification you can receive. Now we have passing, this is for human detection, pet, and after that intrusion prevention at yard wall, staying, and low power. And I'm gonna go back at AI surveillance because we covered intrusion, but I didn't talk about intrusion prevention at yard wall. And this is still in beta phase, but it's actually pretty nice. So this is if you have fences or yard wall around your house, it will detect it automatically and it will detect someone climbing over it. So like the intrusion part, if you have a fence, it will kind of draw the line automatically. If not, you can draw it for yourself. And we actually test it, so I will show you later in the video. Next, we're talking about night vision. So inside night vision, you have black and white night vision, you have color night vision, and you can also turn off the infrared light to your liking. We have the cloud recording, as we mentioned before. So if you get aosuProtect Plus. For the general settings, so inside your video audio, you can change the streaming quality and also adjust the volume of your two-way speaker. You have your battery management. So if you want to save battery, because again, this is a solar powered camera. So ideally you want to save as much battery as possible to keep your camera rolling all year long. But so far, so good. It's been charging a lot. And as you can see, 25% loss since we installed it. So not so bad. And for the different recording modes, so you have power saving mode. So it will record duration of 20 seconds per event. or you can do intelligent detection that will give you 60 seconds per event. Next is a scheduled sleep. So we talked about the battery saving, so you can schedule a sleep mode for your camera, and this way it can power up while sleeping. So when it goes back on, for example, when you go back to work, well, the battery will be at full because it was charging through the weekend, for example. So this is something you can configure here. Then we have the LED status light. We have our smart display access with Amazon Alexa or Google Home, and then the basic settings. So about the device, as I mentioned before, this is where you would have your device model. Not only that, but you can also test your Wi-Fi signal strength. And this is super important when we're talking about Wi-Fi camera, because you don't want to have any interrupted action. So make sure you get as many bars of Wi-Fi as possible when you install your camera. This is something you can test with your phone. So when you're outside and you install your camera, check the bars on your phone. It's a good referral point for the installation. If not, what you can do is before doing all the screws, just bring the camera outside, turn it on, place it about where it would be, and go look in the application right here to test your signal strength. If the signal strength is low, better to change the spot of installation. We have also our firmware update to keep your camera up to date. We have the quick start, so this is the onboarding process that we did at the beginning. And we have to reconnect the Wi-Fi if something happened, and other settings. So this is just if you want to save events as snapshot. So going back to the camera, now we're gonna click on events and see how that works. So the camera has been recording a bunch of motion. You always have this small thing on the top right of your thumbnail that says what detection happened on the camera. So right now we have a lot of motions. But what we can actually do is filter our detection. So you can either click on the burger settings on the top right. So if you click on there, you will open the filters. Or you can click on the left side, you have your calendar. So to pick on which day you want to see detection. So for example, if we click on the 21st, and then in the filter, we'll do intrusion prevention at yard wall. So this is what I was mentioning. If you have a fence and you want to protect it, so it will kind of bring the box automatically over it. So I installed it in a driveway, so there was no fence, but I kind of mimicked a fence by placing a ladder on the ground. So if we look at this, I'll put it full screen for you guys. And as you can see through my awesome acting skills, I jumped over pretending it was a fence, and
you have entered a high-definition surveillance area.
It actually triggered the alarm. So I'm not sure how the algorithm works, because this is not a tripwire. So it's not you pass through, and this is what I'm showing right here. So I'm going back and I'm just walking past the ladder, and it's not triggering the alarm. So it's really if there's a jump, something going over, it will send you a notification. So it's a nice little thing for residential use that can be applied to your camera. And when you have your event, so like this one, what you can do by going here is you can click on the bottom of the thumbnail, and it will download the footage directly to your phone. So you're able to use that for a case manager, for example, if you want to report to the police. All the files will be directly on your phone, so it's easier to share afterward. So doing the same thing, going here, I will change now the filter to motion, so I will have more here. I can click on the bottom here, so you have your 9 squares to kind of show the different motions. So in another settings, maybe it's easier to see all the different detection in that way. And again, I click on it and it triggers the video. I'm able to review the action. So here I'm building a fence, as you can see. So yeah, you can review everything from here and any kind of detection that happened. And that would also be true. So if you're using aosuProtect Plus, same thing. So instead of being written motion on the top, it will be passing for human and also pets and different vehicles. So it will be as easy to find. So as you can see here, when I click on filters, I have my passing, I have my pet. So I will be able to find the different person I'm looking for just by going through these filters. Then on the bottom you have TrueSight. So this is something really exciting that is coming to aosu. Right now it's still in beta phase, but when it will be fully released, we'll make sure to test this because I think this is the game changer in security that everybody is waiting for, and it's becoming quite popular. So as you know, if you've been following the channel for a while, we participate at a ton of security events. And this year, the most exciting thing is VLMs, which is Vision Language Model. So your security camera can understand what it sees. So now you have rich notification. So for example, what they're showing here is that it's not just a human detection. So you receive a notification, a human came by your camera. Now it will say a man with a blue hoodie when jeans tried to steal a package and fled when the alarm rang. So those rich notifications can make a whole world of difference for monitoring purposes. So no more real false alarms. So when you have motion detection, instead of clicking on it to see if it was someone, if it was a car in the street, if it was a cat in your driveway, you have the direct information directly from your notification. So this is really exciting for me, and I think for most people that want to have smart security and less false alarm. And you also have the smart search. So this is something that we see also more and more, where you type in the information as you were doing your research on your web browser, and then the information pop out and you can be really precise with it. So yeah, when it goes out of the beta phase, we will test that thoroughly. So I will be wearing my Pipl hat for different purpose and trying to see how precise the TrueSight from aosu is. So what we like about this camera, a lot of things. Honestly, just the look of it, so the general design of being able to change place of the solar panel to adjust it to your liking. So this is a big plus. Also, kind of the cover design, you mostly think it's a light, you don't necessarily think it's a camera firsthand. It creates this deterrent factor with the alarm and the light, and you get good resolution from the lens itself. So 3K resolution is not negligible, it gives you a great quality picture. And again, all the simplicity from aosu. This took, what, 10 minutes to install and set up, and the camera was already ready to go. So again, if you're just starting your security journey and you just want to put one toe in the water to test out different products and what it is, I believe aosu is a great starting point. Again, no subscription you needed. You can use your micro SD card or your hub. Installation super easy, onboarding super easy. The app itself has great UX, so user experience, easy to navigate as you can see and find all the necessary information. And we actually have a few different videos coming on cameras with Floodlight technology. So stay tuned, like and subscribe, and we'll see each other on the next one.